Introvert. You may have heard that word used before, but what does it really mean? Every person can be categorized as having one of two primary personality types, introverted or extroverted. Where you fall on the spectrum between introvert and extrovert is one of the most immediately defining aspects of your personality. In our society today, we have this notion that the most desirable type of person is daring, sociable, and a natural leader. Because our society hails this type of personality as superior, other personalities have become less desirable and fallen subject to a stigma. People often mistakenly associate introverts with shyness, laziness, and being unsociable, but this is simply not the case. The terms introvert and extrovert were first coined by psychologist Carl Jung in the 1920s, and have since been the focus of countless psychological and scientific studies. Introverts and extroverts can't be defined just by one simple definition. However, most psychologists agree that they can be compared by looking at the differences between them. In the workplace, extroverts can make risky decisions quickly, are usually good multitaskers, and don't mind risk-taking. Introverts, on the other hand, work slower but more deliberately, and put more concentration and detail into their work. In social situations, extroverts are self-confident, enjoy talking, and always have something to say. Introverts prefer to listen and usually think before they talk. They feel more comfortable communicating in writing than in person, and prefer in-depth conversations over small talk. Imagine for a minute that every person has an energy level that is affected by social interaction, a social battery, if you will. For introverts, their battery is drained by high stimulation social interaction, such as a party. To recharge their battery, they need time alone, where they can process and recharge from the drain of the experience. Extroverts are just the opposite. When an extrovert goes for periods of time without social stimulation, their batteries become drained and they need to socialize with others to recharge. At this point, it is important to say that no person is completely introverted or extroverted. Everybody falls somewhere along the spectrum between introvert and extrovert. Even the most outgoing of extroverts will eventually need some time alone, and the strongest of introverts still need doses of social stimulation from time to time. These examples are just generalizations. There are many types of introverts and extroverts, and everywhere in between. Studies show that roughly 1/2 to 1/3 of all Americans are introverts. This means that if you aren't an introvert yourself, a friend, someone you work with, live with, or go to school with, is. Many people are surprised by this statistic. This is partly because many people pretend to be extroverts. Introverts often try to force themselves into acting extroverted because, as I mentioned earlier, our society has created the idea that an introverted personality is a second-class personality, and introverts feel a pressure to change who they are to fit the standard. However, the fact is that some of the most successful people in the world are introverted. People like Gandhi, Albert Einstein, Abraham Lincoln, Bill Gates, Steve Wozniak, J.K. Rowling, Emma Watson, and Steven Spielberg, just to name a few.